Hi, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the compound probability for two events, and it's going to be your work to obtain the formula for compound probability of three events, and also to explain it and solve a little problem about this. If you just want to know the instructions for the problems, jump to the end of this video. As an introduction, I'm going to explain again what's the probability of compound events in the case in which you have to decide between two different options, A and B, but both options can happen at the same time. We are trying to obtain this probability, the probability that A or B happens when A and B are mutually inclusive, when A and B can happen at the same time. And this means that in a problem we're trying to obtain the probability of A or B of that one characteristic happens or another thing happens, but the two can happen at the same time. And this is what I mean. Probability of A or B is, for instance, what we need in a problem like this one. The probability that two cards drawn from a standard deck will both be aces or both will be black. So one of the characteristics is both are aces. That's A. That's an event A. Both will be black. That's an event B. So we're trying to get P of A or B, probability of A or B. But in this case, the events are mutually inclusive because there is one instance, actually uh, there are two instances in which you can have a black ace, in which you can have something, a card with the two characteristics at the same time. And the same happens, for instance, in this problem. What's the probability that if a card is drawn from a standard deck, it is red or a face card? Again, you have two characteristics, two defining characteristics, two events, the card being red, the card being a face card, but both can happen at the same time. You can have a face card that is red. Yet another example of this one comes in, for instance, this problem. If you have 5 pennies, 7 nickels, and 9 dimes in a coin collection, and you're asked to select two coins of random, find the probability that you either pick 2 nickels or 2 silver colored coins. Well, the 2 nickels is one instance, that's A. 2 silver colored coins, it's the instance B. But nickels and dimes are silver, pennies are golden. So you can have both things happening at the same time because the nickels are also silver colored coins. So what happens when you have these kind of things going on? You usually use this formula, right? The probability for getting A or B is the probability of getting just A plus the probability of getting just B minus the probability of getting A and B at the same time. And represented in a Venn diagram, this formula can be explained like this. And remember that both events are mutually inclusive, so it means that there is a region where they happen at the same time, where they overlap. That is represented as an overlapping region if we're drawing Venn diagrams. And it's going to look like this. You have the event A, you have the event B, and you have a region where A and B happen at the same time. Remember that we're trying to obtain these probabilities here. Let's see what happens if we just add P of A and P and B. Probability of A includes this, and this is the just A and A plus A and B. This region over here is kind of partial moon, if you want, is the just A region, and this one over here is the A and B region. Okay, but all of this constitutes probability of A. Probability of B, on the other hand, is pretty much the same. It includes just B region and again an A and B region. So if you add both, you will be adding this thing, the probability, well, this one, the probability of just A, the probability of A and B, and again, the probability of just B, and this one, So you will be adding this portion twice. That cannot be right. We cannot add this thing twice just because. And this one is actually could be written as the probability of A and B. So to work out this formula, the formula for the probability of A or B, we have to add the probability of A plus the probability of B, but see that we will be adding twice the probability of A and B, so we have to subtract it once ourselves, and that's where this thing comes in the formula, to get rid of one of the overcounting A and B. Your work is now to draw a Venn diagram to represent what happens with the probability for three events that overlap. If you want to obtain the probability of A or B or C, three events that can happen at the same time and they overlap in a regular Venn diagram for three things actually. Make an analysis like I did and write a formula for this probability. Justify it using colors, again like I did, explain it in a video. If you want to make a chart like the one that I actually did in here, I did it in metachart.com for the Venn diagrams. And after you do that, this one is straightforward. In this problem, you have to use that formula, the formula that you derived here. Just use it and find a number. Okay, that's it for today.